the city commission, focusing on the most needy, the most vulnerable in our community. At Lotus House with Constance Collins, who has dedicated her life fulfilling, which is helping the women in our community, particularly those who have been taken advantage of and abused, find their way to a place where they can be protected and they can find happiness and peace in their lives. Today we're announcing, as part of our functional zero plan, the receipt of $200,000 for a workforce training program and for job opportunities. This is part of our functional zero plan. We've seen, unfortunately, an up 640, and so it's more important than ever that we redouble our efforts and that we get the $3 million that our commission allocated in American Rescue Plan dollars to get to that functional zero. In 2018, we got to functional zero. It gave me the idea that we should be a city, a big city in America, that should strive for functional zero. It's not easy. We never said it would be easy, but with our network of caregivers, we went to them, and I want to thank Lazaro Quintero from my office, who's worked with that network plan, saying, hey, what is it going to take? We're willing to fund whatever we can with the federal dollars that we're going to receive. And this was part of that process. And I just want to thank the commission for their faith in this process. I want to thank Constance for everything she's done, all the sacrifices she's made in her life to put purpose before everything. Purpose before profit is what she's done in her life. And I can say that having known her for a long time and knowing her background, that's really one of the most special things about her and about what she's created here through the intervention of many people, Marty Margulies, and so many others that have funded this center in its construction and its operation. So this is going to be those dollars directly to the agencies that we've allocated it for, and we want to thank you for being here. Es un gran orgullo estar aquí conjunto con la comisión, una mayoría de la comisión House da servicios a los más vulnerables, a las mujeres de nuestra comunidad, la quien se han tenido que escapar en varias ocasiones de tragedia en cual se encuentran en sus hogares. Esto es específicamente para entrenarlo, para darle la habilidad de trabajar y poder transicionar de Lotus House a el sector privado y poder proveer por ellos mismos y por su familia. Es parte de nuestro programa para eliminar los desamparados en nuestra ciudad, algo que no va a ser fácil. Y desafortunadamente hemos visto un aumento desde el último census, desde 510 días a 640. Y es algo con cual vamos a tener una serie de conferencias de prensa para anunciar las diferentes agencias en cuales estamos trabajando para llegar a ese cero. Yo tuve la idea de llegar a cero en el 2018 cuando llegamos al cero con los veteranos, lo que llaman funcional cero, porque siempre hay uno o dos por ahí. Y esa meta, que es algo que no he visto en ninguna otra gran ciudad en los Estados Unidos, algo que conjunto con la comisión y los fondos federales que hemos recibido, estamos trabajando arduamente con los diferentes proveedores de servicios para llegar a ese cero. Así que estoy muy orgulloso de este momento, cuidando a los más vulnerables, atacando uno de los problemas más graves en nuestra sociedad, en nuestro país, y haciéndolo con compasión. Así que para mí es un gran honor y privilegio poder presentar a la presidenta. I'm going to go with the commission first, and then we'll have Constance come up and say a few words. So the chairwoman of the commission, whose district we find ourselves in, it's still your district after we did. That's what I'm interested in. Madam Chairwoman King.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, everybody. Congratulations, Constance. What Constance does here at Lotus House is God's work. It is an honor and a blessing to have supported the Lotus House for before I became commissioner. And it is an honor to continue to work toward the goal of getting our homeless into homes. As a board member for many years of the Camillus House, we are working toward that goal. We have been working toward that goal, and I'm sure that many of you are aware that District 5 shoulders the majority of our homeless population, not for the city of Miami, but for Miami-Dade County. And this is not a city of Miami issue or problem. It is a Miami-Dade County issue, and I think together we are going to get to our goal of functional zero. We are going to make a difference, and we are going to take care of our most vulnerable population. And in doing so, we support Lotus House. We support the work that Ms. Constance does, and it's an honor for me to champion the work of Lotus House. And I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
I'm gonna go backwards this time. Usually I go 2-4, so we'll go 2 this time. It was his left for last, so I feel bad.
Los últimos eran los primeros. To me, it's an honor, and I have to thank the mayor for his initiative. And when he brought the initiative of, to try to totally eliminate, do away with homelessness, it is quite a task. And it's almost, many people would say it's an impossible task, because there are some people that they want. But what we're doing here is, provide the shelter to and training to those women that some of them, they are entrapped in relationships that they are very abusive. And Lotus House is provides I would say the avenue for them to get away from that relationship, and they have a place to come. I really admire the job that you have been doing. I've been here many times, and from my office, I have always contributed to this great project. It's not only battered women and abused women, a woman that needs that they are in economic need, but also the children are also. And that is why it is the most important that not only the city of Miami, but every resident of the city of Miami take notice and help Lotus House in their magnificent job that they are doing protecting our women. Congratulations, I'm so proud to be here, and I really love what you're doing, and thank you, Mayor. We have done it. Oh, en español, ¿verdad que sí? Para mí es un gran placer y un gran honor estar aquí. Felicito al alcalde por su iniciativa, una iniciativa para llegar a cero los desamparados, o eliminar los desamparados de la ciudad. Es un proyecto que lo estamos llevando todo en conjunto, pero ese proyecto, muchas personas dicen que es un proyecto que es casi imposible, pero se va a tratar bien duro de hacerlo. Esta obra que se hace aquí en Lotus House es una obra que tiene, en mi opinión, tiene una importancia extremadamente grande, porque nosotros tenemos en nuestra sociedad, desgraciadamente, muchas mujeres que están envueltas en relaciones abusivas y no tienen lugar para dónde ir, no miran, no pueden salir de esa relación porque tienen el temor o no tienen la capacidad para irse para otro lugar. Y Lotus House le ofrece no solamente el amparo a ellas, sino el amparo a los niños también. Por eso yo no solamente le pido a todas las instituciones gubernamentales, sino a todos los ciudadanos de la ciudad de Miami que ayuden a esta institución en cumplir el proyecto de ellos, que es el proteger a nuestras mujeres, que nuestras mujeres sepan que tienen un lugar donde ellas pueden recurrir para ayuda y no permanecer en esa relación nociva que muchas, por necesidad o por falta de recursos, se mantienen en ella. Así que muchísimas gracias por la labor que tú haces, y gracias a ti por esta cooperación que estamos haciendo todos con iniciativa.
Good morning, buenos días. Thank you everyone for being here. Functional zero is a technical term, and it doesn't mean that you'll never see a homeless person in the streets again. It's a goal you get to that means the pipeline works and functions. That for anyone on the streets, there is a solution, there is a next step. And for anyone who gets into shelter, there is a next step. The $200,000 that we are allocating to Lotus House, and thank you, Mayor, for leading this initiative, is the greatest example of how federal funds can be utilized at the local level. This is the American Rescue Plan in action passed by our Congress and President. But our city had the flexibility to decide how to spend it. And for us to decide that coming out of this pandemic is to empower the formerly homeless with job training, to get them back on the ladder of society, to get them back into housing, to get them to have a job and a key and a future, is the most important thing we can do. We need to continue to invest in our homeless shelter partners to really address this situation. Because we do not have a homeless crisis in the city of Miami. We have a housing crisis in the city of Miami. There are people homeless, and for those who are homeless and for those who live around them, it feels like a crisis, but our numbers at 600, when you compare Miami to any other major city in the country, we're doing really well and on our way to functional zero. This is not some sort of pie in the sky objective. This is achievable, and by allocating the right funds in the right way, we can absolutely get there. Thank you very much.
Before I introduce the superstar of the show, I just want to say that I want to thank also Commissioner Correa, who's not here, for having faith in my administration and in our office to start getting these funds to work and postponing other ideas that he had, which of course are born out of frustration and are also justified based on the increase that we've seen. We actually have seen an increase over the last census, and it's unfortunate. But now we're putting this money to work. It takes a little bit of time to receive the money, put out the agreements, get them signed and all that. So it takes time, and now we're actually starting to see it work, and we're hopeful that that in combination with the county working with us, because as the chairwoman said correctly, we bear the brunt of 2/3 of the homeless in our county, and we have 1/5 the population. So we have to make sure that we're working with the county to make sure that there's an equal allocation of resources throughout Miami-Dade County, so that we don't bear the majority of the brunt of unfortunately the homeless population of our community. Now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce the person who made all this possible, the person who pushes us to be better versions of ourselves and to think more and care more about those who maybe we don't confront on a day-to-day basis when we go about our day, but she has made it her life mission. Constance Collins.
So, on behalf of Lotus House, thank you, Mayor Suarez, Chairwoman King, Commissioner Russell, Commissioner Reyes, and Commissioner Carrillo, who's not here today, our city for stepping up and really being a city of compassion and kindness. I get a lot of recognition because I've been here from the beginning, but at the end of the day, it takes a village. And our city has been enormously generous in helping to make sure that women, youth, and children who are among the most vulnerable in our community don't sleep on the streets at night. That our children have a safe place to play and to learn and grow and thrive, and that women and youth have a space to reclaim their lives. Violence is the principal cause of homelessness for women and children. And we know that evidence-based, therapeutic, and wraparound supports are needed for them to rebuild their lives, to build the foundation for a brighter future for them and for all of us. This is our community. We have worked so hard in our community to bring prosperity to everyone. Lotus House is part of a national network of women's shelters, and I have had the privilege of visiting women's shelters all across the country because of that. I can say from personal experience that Miami has really led the way. We are on the forefront We don't have enormous, large tent cities. We don't have Skid Row. We don't have the Tenderloin District. We have invested in people here, and it shows. The Homeless Trust, the Children's Trust, the county, the city, everyone coming together with businesses, with foundations, and with everyday people who are part of our community stepping forward. Just this morning, someone came to deliver pillows and blankets in our shelter. A group of men in the Air Force, men and women in the Air Force, came together, collected these things to bring to us this morning. This is our community. It shows love, it shows compassion, it shows we care about each other, and at the end of the day, the success of a city is not measured by how high its buildings are. It is measured by how we treat the least, those who have the least. And that we don't give those with the least, and then blame them when they don't succeed. We turn that upside down, and we say we invest in those with the least, so that they become those with the most someday. So again, we just want to thank you for investing in us, investing in our women and children, making a difference every day. That's what love looks like, only love. Thank you.
I don't know if there's any questions or. Thank you.
Aquí de la fundación que hablar en español, aquí la fundación
Is there anybody from Lotus House?
Isabella?
Isabella, are you here, Isabella? You want to say a few words in Spanish, please? Thank you. Vale, sorry.
Buenos días a todos y muchas gracias por estar acá. Es un honor recibir estos fondos y ver a nuestra comunidad unirse para traer recursos que son muy necesarios para las mujeres y niños que están desamparados en nuestra comunidad. Les queremos agradecer a todos por unirse y saber que juntos podemos de verdad hacer cambios. Así que muchas gracias.
Por aquí. Isabel. Bueno.
Thank you very much, everyone, for being here.
Gracias. Thank you very much, everybody. Gracias, Juan.